Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze, Breezeway Productions' The Breeze, where we bring you the latest in independent films and film festival circuit films that are happening domestically and around the world. And we continue our coverage of this year's 2021 Toronto International Film Festival. And we have two filmmakers here, director Daniel Carsenty and director Mo Abugeth, to talk about their film, their documentary, Devil's Drivers. How are you guys?
Thanks, good.
Right on.
Well, great. How are you, Mohammed?
Good, fine, yeah. Little bit jet lag, but yeah, it's good.
Mo, you just got back to Germany, based out of Berlin, and Daniel right now is still in Toronto. So you guys just had your premiere for the film, and tell us a little bit about your documentary, which is screening this year. Whomever would like to.
Yeah, it's 90 minutes feature documentary in, like you said, it's in epic style, in feature style. So we did a direct cinema with Hamouda and Ismail, cousins who travel, who bring workers to their workplace on everyday basis.
Yeah. So a very treacherous documentary, so to say. It took 10 years in the making, and this is getting Palestinians into Israel so that they can work and make a living to bring home food for their family. It's pretty wild to have that type of subject matter. So tell me, how did all of this get started?
Do you want again, Mohammed?
Yeah, I start, then you can continue. I met Daniel at the film school in Berlin, and I invited him to come to do the documentary with me. And he came, and we didn't know what is the topic we make about. And then we met Hamouda, the protagonist. And when we met him, we said, oh, this is a character of big fiction movie, not just documentary. He's epic, his voice, how he moves. So we had to check, me and Daniel, to make a documentary about Hamouda, and we started to make the film.
Yeah.
Easy way. But what happened is much complicated.
Yeah. And how about you, Daniel? What's your take on the creation of this project?
I think what was like super interesting for me was to create a film that I would call, together with Mohammed, new wave Palestinian cinema. We wanted to create a character who's three-dimensional, who's neither the stereotypical Middle Eastern terrorist, nor according to a scheme of a three-dimension, a portrait of a three-dimensional human being as we really encounter it, with flaws, with strengths, someone who actively takes control over his life, someone who does decisions that we as an audience can understand. I wanted, or Mohammed and me, we wanted to give the audience the opportunity to feel what our characters feel and to think, which choices would I make if I'm in their situation?
Yeah. And it's not a very comfortable situation to be in when you have a family that needs to be taken care of and you have no means to take care of them. So when you were capturing your subject, you had an outside view of what was going on, but did you feel like you were constantly in peril while you were shooting this, because what you were doing is very highly dangerous, so to say, with crossing the border and everything?
I think we were constantly with one leg in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were filming, it was intense and very difficult to be there. But you know, as filmmaker, when you're making a film, you don't think what will happen next. We think what's happening now, and we have to capture what's going on. So we sometimes our focus in the technical equipment make us focus about sound and camera, like Daniel, to hold the camera for 4 hours in a car will make him forget what is.
Okay.
I'm sorry for the noise.
It's all good. You're doing it on the fly. You like it though. I mean, you're putting in the time to do it. It's a very busy atmosphere. It's good. It gives it some life. So, you were saying that you get the shots of what you need. You tell the story that you need to tell, and you're showcasing a subject matter that is very controversial all around the world. And you shot everything handheld as it was going into these situations. What do you think that you captured in this documentary that mainstream news networks around the world don't showcase to audiences? So what story are you seeing in your film that we don't see on news networks?
I think you don't see the family story, an in-depth examination of the circumstance that people live in who live a dangerous life. You see often, there are lots of, portraits of human traffickers, of all kind of people who live a very risky or very dangerous lifestyle. But you seldomly get to watch their children grow up, get to see or experience their life circumstances. And I think what is very important about our film is that no one in our film is doing what they're doing on a voluntarily basis. Anyone would choose in any moment a life in a suburb, they would disappear like that if they would have this choice, they would have this option. And I mean, our characters, they're highly talented drivers. They could easily drive in F3 or even in Formula One. The mechanics of our cars, if I would be a millionaire, I would hire them immediately to repair my car. Those are the best car mechanics in the world. So basically, we're seeing very talented people living under extremely difficult circumstances who none of them has an alternative. And I think that's what is so important for people all over the world to know on what basis do these people make their decisions to live this kind of a life.
Yeah, well, the climate doesn't make those decisions any easier. Over the 10 years that you guys have been working on this film, have you noticed anything getting any easier for the Palestinians in regards to Palestinian-Israeli relationships so that they can go and get work? Or is there seriously still an issue with them being employed in Israel? Whoever would like to take that.
Yeah, I think 10 years hasn't changed anything. It's the same circumstances. This is what can I answer you.
Nothing gets any better.
You can say it's getting difficult, more difficult, not easier.
So it's not getting better, it's getting worse.
Getting worse.
Okay. Well, I know that it's very, very tough thing to talk about, but you guys were able to showcase it in your film, which is an official selection at this year's Toronto Film Festival. I wanted to thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time to talk with me about it today. In closing, is there anything you'd like to say to the Toronto International Film Festival organization for the selection of your film this year?
I think we would like to thank Tom for making this courageous decision to choose us. He didn't see the finished film. He saw a work in progress, and he chose us. And I think we are very grateful that he believed in us. And we're, of course, also very grateful for the people who supported us on the last yards. That's one's Niklas Krüger, but it's also Bryn Muser, it's Catherine Everett, it's Justin Lake, who decided on the last moment to help push us over over the finish line. And I think that's something that Mohammed and me are very grateful about.
Yeah, thanks for everyone also in TIFF who helped to choose the film and to put it in TIFF and to put it under focus. For sure, there's also names that we don't know, but everyone who believed in the film, thank him very much.
And most importantly, the viewers, just like you, that are going to check out this film once they get a chance to check it out. And we're happy to talk to both of you to put a spotlight on it. And we want to wish you the best of luck with this project, and wishing you safe travels and the best of success with the rest of this film's festival circuit that it goes through.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good